Hi, this is Mason. It's 11 o'clock in the morning in Syracuse, and we're live in the 315. Here's Brian Higgins.
Oh, that we are, Mason. We're buried under a pile of snow. Welcome in on this snowy Syracuse Monday. You know, they're just going to push it out of the way. We're all good. We're all good. It's Syracuse. We're kind of used to it. Snow day for a lot of people in the region. Schools are all closed. Syracuse University, almost got closed. They went to virtual classes today, so some of us need to pretend to teach tonight. But we'll figure that out later. But welcome in here on this Monday, live in the 315. Lots to talk about. As always, we've got the basketball loss to Miami on Saturday. We continue our conversation on that. We really started, we've had the conversation, but I think we started it more fully in postgame toward the end on Saturday about what's next and who is next. So we can get into that as well going forward, assuming that changes will be made this offseason, because it is starting to feel more and more like Dead Man Walking for Red here. We'll get you no wrong answers for Syracuse and the fighting Quadir Copelands as the Orange head to Raleigh for a game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Of course, we'll have full post-game coverage for that right here. Quadir turns out, he's the best player at NC State. He's their leading scorer. He's shooting mid 40% from three. He fixed his shot. He's leading them in assists by a mile. Yeah, he's still 6'6". Yeah, so go figure how that all happened. So we'll get into that as we go along as well. And as always, link pinned top of the chat. You are welcome to join with a live call by clicking the link and getting yourself ready to roll on the show today. But thanks for stopping by, everyone, here on this Monday. Quick outlook of the old schedule this week is we got this right now. This is happening. Tomorrow night will be post-game. Not crazy late night, so that's nice. 9-ish? 7 o'clock tip. How about that? Revolutionary. So we'll be there tomorrow night. Wednesday night, myself and Jordan. We will have our TPS report. Thursday, we'll be live in the 315 again. And then Saturday, early evening, nighttime, Syracuse takes on Notre Dame in the Dome. That's a 6 o'clock tip, so I'll have post-game for you after that. So there is the schedule for the week. Kev, Super Cat, Team Murphy, Dom, welcome all in. Yeah, Dom, did you guys get cracked in North Carolina too? I mean, neither rain nor sleet nor snow or however it goes, right? The mail. We got to get the mail out there. Everyone else is gone. The snow hasn't actually stopped yet, has it? But it's certainly petered out after being going for, we're more than 24 hours straight of the white stuff falling from the sky at this point. So we'll make it through. It's snow. It's not a hurricane. It's not a tornado. We'll be okay. We'll be okay here in the Northeast. But let's get into it. Let's get into it with Syracuse hoops here. And we can kind of pick up the conversation where we left off on Saturday, which was after Syracuse lost to Miami in the Dome in a game that I don't even know where to go with it anymore with some of these Syracuse losses. Like, again, I said this after what was the previous game? Virginia Tech. Losing to Miami, like losing to Virginia Tech, in a bottle, it's not a bad loss, right? Virginia Tech's a good team. Miami's a good team. Like, I don't set either aside as like, oh my goodness, it was a bad loss. Was the game winnable? Yes, to some extent, though. I think Miami was the better team, certainly on the court on Saturday. I would say the Wednesday game against Virginia Tech was eminently more winnable than Saturday, but both extremely winnable games. And then you go back to Boston College the week before, which was a had-to-win game, and you lost them all. So now here you are. If you are Syracuse, you are sitting on a 3-game losing streak, and I think it feels like we're on the precipice of things just absolutely falling off the side of the cliff. Does it not? 12-8, 3-4 in the league. 12-8, 3-4 in the league. 10 days ago, they were 12-5, 3-1 in the league. You were in a spot where you had a chance to be able to make some moves. Now it just does not feel like you're in that spot anymore. Go back to the end of the game on Saturday, where Devo, who is a fight to the finish guy, right? Like, Syracuse was not going to win that game. The game was over. So, does it matter in one way? No. But the last minute of the game, it felt like Syracuse was just waving the white flag, the white piece of paper. It felt like Syracuse waved the white flag down the stretch. Is that coaches? Is that players? Is it a combination? Like, they weren't fouling. They were just like, all right, it's time to get this to the end. Now, were they going to win the game? No, they were not going to win the game. It would have taken an all-time miracle at that point to come back from whatever it was, 9 down in the final minute. But, and this is a pretty significant but, is that, you have to play it to the finish line, right? You have to, because if you're not, like, what's the point of the whole endeavor? What's the point of the whole endeavor if you're not grinding it to the finish line, which is clearly part of everything Red's been telling us, right? And that tells me, some people made the immediate jump. Oh, the team has quit on Red. Well, nothing is absolutes, but it's starting to show more and more, it feels like, where we are, that things are sliding away in a way that you talk about, when are they going to make the move, in a way that could be unrecoverable here within the context of this season. NC State tomorrow night. Don't feel great about that one. Notre Dame on Saturday in the Dome. That may be your easiest, certainly short list easiest games remaining. Like, you have to win that game. If you lose tomorrow night and then lose to Notre Dame on Saturday, you're sitting on a 5-game losing streak with road trips to North Carolina for Big Monday and Virginia, where you never win, the week after that following. Like, you'd be sitting on a 5-game losing streak that's fast forwarding to 7 and fast forwarding to a season imploding. And heck, even if you win that game, like, you're still fast forwarding to 2 losses after that. So, like, realistically, the darn near best case scenario is you've lost 6 out of 7, unless you somehow go down to Raleigh tomorrow night and win. Not that NC State's by any means unbeatable, but the way Syracuse is playing right now. And then, I mean, you could be staring at what's the count if you lose that? You're at 3. Tomorrow would be 4, 5, 6, 7. If you lose to Notre Dame, you're at 7 straight losses. You're now into February. You're to the point where decisions, like, clearly the end result. Kev's got them not winning any road games remaining. Here's the remaining road schedule for Syracuse. Ironically, it seems like Syracuse almost plays better on the road than they have been playing at home. Setting aside the Boston College game. You got NC State tomorrow night. NC State's obviously a solid team. You're in the Dean Dome on a big Monday. Yeah, good luck on that. You're at Virginia. Good luck on that. You're in Cameron to take on Duke on a big Monday. Good luck on that. You're at Wake Forest. Of the road games remaining, I guess that's the most doable. It's either that or tomorrow night. And then you're in the Yum Center for Louisville. So, you're playing, I mean, it would be pretty easy to consider Louisville, North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia. If they're not the best 4 teams in the league, they're certainly in conversation, and you still have to play all of them on the road. It's getting late early, right? Dom will be at Chapel Hill. It's getting late early here, and it's getting late early. Thank you, FMTX Mark, a loyalist, yes. What Mark has done is he's clicked the $ sign next to the chat box, and he is committed his hard-earned cash to the cause. Thank you for that, Mark, and many of you already in the chat. Sean and Kev and Super Cat have already become members of the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's the easiest thing to fix. Just click the freaking button. It does you no harm, and gets us numbers we need to help grow the channel, the algorithm, YouTube, Google, whatever the hell they're doing behind the scenes. Just click that button. I'm not forcing anybody to pay money, but if you'd like to pony up with a few buckaroos each month and become a member of the channel, always greatly appreciated. But thank you, Mark, for that. Appreciate all of you for that. I think I clicked the button. I clicked the button. I still haven't seen any results. It's supposed to like give you guys shout outs on like the live pages somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's happening. Shout out to you anyway. I've shouted you out, and that should be enough. Anyway, but to your point, Kev, looking at the road schedule is brutal. I think now that you've lost the last 3, I mean, any NCAA tournament talk at this point is just ridiculous and a waste of breath. The question now is, can you do anything if you are Red to save your job? And barring some just totally crazy results. I tried looking for that the other day, Kev. I looked on my phone and I did not find the option. I need to look on the computer, I think. It feels like there should be the option. I was browsing around in my phone where the things are, and I couldn't find the option. It just feels like there should be an option, right, Kev? Like, I feel like I should be able to control that. I still haven't found out if I can or not. I need to look on the computer. Ed, what's up, my man? Our guy Ed Helinsky. Snowed in Auburn right now, I'm sure. But, looking at the schedule, and we put this all into the blender of there's going to be a new chancellor who knows what's going on in the decision-making process. Like, the other side of the coin that I think none of us have really considered is, I want to do it, Kev. I need to find it. And it also needs to be possible. I'd like to think it's possible, right? Like, what's the difference if you're YouTube? What do you care? Let me take control. There's also ways to give you guys like emojis and stuff. It's on the list of things I'd like to do. And then, days happen and then you don't do it. And yeah. Well, one of these days, Kev. One of these days, we will most likely get to it. It's also a great shtick to only remember about the stuff that you claim that you're going to do while you're live and then forget about it later. I also find that amusing. So I think either way is kind of good. I think either way. Like, on one hand, I'll either accomplish the thing. On the other hand, it's a running shtick that we can bring up for months on end. So, like, I think that's a win-win. I think that's a win-win for all of us. As far as the future of Red, the one thing I think that we all have not really considered out loud here is, like, what if there is a scenario, like, where the end of the season, like, forget meaningful games in March, forget any of that. What if there's a scenario where it's completely obvious there should be a coaching change, and we're pretty much at that point right now, but there isn't? Because of, I don't know what, finances, leadership changes, 8 million reasons why things don't happen, right? Like, things don't happen in this world like every single day. There's plenty of days where stuff doesn't happen that should. What if that happens in Syracuse? Oh my goodness, the fan just revolt would be stunning to watch. Absolutely stunning to watch. The emptiness of the dome next year would be stunning to watch. Like, we have reached the point now where it feels like a change almost needs to be made just for the sake of sanity for all involved, for Red, for the fan base, for everybody. Like, you feel a little bit bad for Red right now, but that's where we're at. In theory, we'll be hearing from Red live toward the end of this hour. We're sitting at a quarter past. He is scheduled to join the weekly ACC Zoom, best I know, at 11:50. They didn't send out an email with the schedule this week, but the link's always the same. Like, it's on. Here, there's a capo on my screen right now, so we'll attempt to give that to you. We attempted to give it to you last week, but then, it wasn't there. So we didn't, which was entertaining in its own right. So, one way or another, we will be delivering you something toward the end of the hour. We'll also do no wrong answers for Syracuse and NC State. Yeah, how about women's soup, Sean? A tough loss for them yesterday at North Carolina. Never an easy place to win, though the Orange have had some exceedingly memorable wins there. I mean, I go back, like everything's a throwback to 2016 right now. I go back to 2016. The Orange had a little rough patch early in January. This was the year they made the national title game. It was a game down in Chapel Hill, which in many ways put the season on the right path. They were down midway through the fourth quarter. There was an intentional technical flagrant something called on Carolina for taunting, which completely changed the direction of the game. The Orange went away to win that one, and then were able to go on from there and get themselves into where they went, which was all the way to the national title game. They lost in overtime yesterday. And what is next for the women? Who do the women get on Thursday? The women got to have somebody coming up on Thursday. But the women are like right now, like season ends at this second. Like losing at Carolina is not a bad loss by any means. But the women are, I mean, they're 16-4. I'd say at the moment they are securely in the NCAA tournament, even though they are lacking like big wins. They got Georgia Tech in the Dome coming up on Thursday. Then a road trip to Miami. Oh, that must be nice. Coming up to start February on Sunday. But they are certainly in position to at least make some noise and get themselves into the NCAA tournament. Ed, to the best of my understanding, and I'm going off the way Boeheim has addressed it publicly, I'm guessing he has 2 more years left on his contract. I'm guessing he has 2 more years left on his contract. Because Jim talked about him not getting 1 more, but 2 more years, right? Like whatever that was, a month plus ago. So, yeah, they'd have, and I don't know what he's making. Like, I'm sure it's not at the high end of the league, but I'm sure it's not peanuts. So realistically, if you're going to fire Red, you're going to have to eat 2 years of salary or whatever's negotiated in a buyout or something like that. Yeah, you're going to have some cash on hand to be able to make the move. You're certainly not in as dire a situation as Pittsburgh is when you've got a dead man walking head coach signed through 2030. Like if Pitt's going to make a move on Capel at the end of the season, they're going to have to eat a lot of cash. But I don't know. It's one where, yeah, can you do it? Yeah. You know, you're right, Sean. Like in a different kind of season, you go in there because like NC State's good, but they're not unbeatable. Like a good team goes in there, you can win this game. Like I don't think Syracuse can get blown off the floor. I think it's going to be probably similar to the last couple of games where it's a close game, then whatever, and then NC State wins. We'll get to that no wrong answers. That may have been an unintentional teaser. And yeah, if you were like a really good team that went through a rough patch, this is the kind of game, Sean. They can't reset the season. You go on the road in the league, you get a win against another team that's, working their way, trying to get to the tournament, and then your talent clicks in and you go on a little run. And then, we've seen Syracuse teams in the past, right? Go back to another era. You go and win at Duke. You go and win at North Carolina, and then you flip the script, right? And then you're back in the mix, whether or not you're back in the tournament or not. It's hard to envision that with this scenario. It's hard to envision that, right? Now, if it happens, great. But it's hard to envision. And yeah, Felaferta, I'm only assuming that it's 5 based on what Boeheim said, but I don't know. The question is, not every 5-year contract is the same, right? It depends on what the outs are. It depends on what the costs are. Like, are you able to get out of it without any significant pain at the end of this year financially? Do you have anything resembling a war chest to get out of it and then get a new guy at the end of this year financially? How much money is Fran Brown spent on stuff that you don't have available for this financially? I don't know. Yeah. Haven't got any birds in the last 24 hours or so, Michael Antonio. They're in hiding though. The white-breasted nuthatch has been around and eating away here for the last few weeks. Shout out to our friend the white-breasted nuthatch. You go, white-breasted nuthatch. But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, Kev, Quadir Copeland's playing really well. He's playing like think of the Q that we knew in 2 years. highlight machine, wild flair, and all that, but that's what it was. Like, you never take that out of a guy. You don't want to take that out of a guy. But the Will Wade really disciplined approach. Will said something. He was on the ACC Zoom that Red will be on in a half an hour at like 10:45 or so. So right before the show started. So, I had it in my ear, listen to what he was saying. And somebody asked about Quadir's three-point shooting. Now, like we know, and it was the 2-year anniversary of it over the weekend, Q hitting the three-point shot that beat Miami. But we certainly know that was not ever his strength. Quadir this year, right now, is shooting 47.5% from three. Now, it's not in high volume, but he's making exactly one a game. They've played 20 games. He's made 20 of his 42 attempts. All right, that's one thing in a vacuum, right? But one of the reporters asked Will, all right, how'd this come to be? And Will Wade said, like, they took him back to the basics. They sent him to some shooting coach that they named that, the name went in one year and out the other. But they sent him out to California to work on it, and it was kind of twofold. They knew that Quadir was a much better, by the stats and the analytics, catch-and-shoot three-point shooter than he is off the bounce. So they made sure that he is disciplined, or as disciplined as he can be in that arena, right? Like, take the shots that go together. Wild Sisters Unlimited. Yeah, combine all of our sponsors. Wild most sisters at the most. Just bring them all into one place. So Q went out and worked on his shot selection. He didn't go out and work on his shot selection. You can work on your shot selection anywhere. But they focused on the shots he is good at making, which is the ones primarily, I guess, now that he takes. I haven't watched a ton of NC State this year, but we'll focus on that tomorrow night. Like, what's Q doing? And is he getting extra riled up because he's playing Syracuse? The other thing, they worked on his form, and Will Wade said there was a lot of wrist. They worked on a lot of wrist stuff. Like, they worked on strengthening his wrist, and they worked on wrist consistency. But, like, how extremely specific is that? And Will said something to the effect that, like, now that Q worked on that all summer, then I guess the shooting coach came back out to Raleigh at some point in the preseason because he worked with other guys on the team and, like, hammered home some of the points. He says the Q right now is shooting a much, much, much higher percentage of his shots the correct way. Now, whether they go in or not, and obviously it's paying off that they're going in, but now you got a 6'6" dude who's shooting with better form and wrist strength and taking the right shots and combining his flair with playing under control. He is a senior now. He's a fourth-year guy, and you see what the result is. And yeah, fellow Fernell, like, let's say Q had stayed here. Do we have any confidence that would have happened? I don't know. So, yeah, good for Q. I always liked Q. Now, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, like obviously him and Red, whatever, it was like Rams butting heads. It felt like there during yes, wrist consistency. Ed has spread the word on wrist consistency. It's the first time I've ever heard the phrase because I don't think Will Wade even said wrist consistency, and that's how I interpreted what he was saying. So Quadir Copeland and his wrist consistency. The key to a strong three-point shot. Get your mind out of the gutter, Ed. That's ridiculous. We're talking about three-point shooting and wrist consistency. But, look at Q. Q's now, you talk about his future, he's 6'6". We know he can pass the ball. And if he's got wrist consistency, we know he can guard you if he puts the effort in. Like, he's got the athleticism for it. I'm not saying he's going to make it, but I'm saying now he's got a shot at the league, right? He's got a shot at the league. Is he going to make it? I don't know. He's got a shot at the league. Right? He's got the size. We know he can run a team. We know he'll guard you. And you bring some wrist. I don't know if he can step it out to the NBA three-point line, but we now know from what I heard from Will Wade this morning that he's willing to work on it. He's willing to incorporate that into his game. It's working. Now, if he can extend that range out to the NBA range, and he's big enough and strong enough, like, why not? Then, yeah. Uh, and Sean, you're not wrong. Like, as much as Copeland is a better 3-point shooter now, that's not his game. He's taking 2 a game and making 1 a game. Like, he's not a high volume guy. Yeah, Cope's gonna get in the lane, and is William Kyle gonna do something about it, or is Donnie Freeman going to do something about it? Yeah. So we'll keep our eye on that. And yeah, he's good. He's good. We all wish it had worked out differently at Syracuse, I think, because he was really entertaining. He was a good post game quote. He does hit buzzer beaters. He's done that everywhere he's gone. He's got a sense of the moment. He's a fun player to watch. He's a good. I don't know what his pro level is, but he's turned into a good, fun college player that in days gone by, right? The growth. If it was at one school, the growth. Say he'd done it at Syracuse or anywhere. Like the growth of a guy like Quadir Copeland from year 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, there were noticeable steps each year. That's what it used to be like. And I don't know about you. Like for me, that was in many ways the fun of watching college basketball. You saw these guys. Like look at I don't know, not that he ever was shooting threes. Look at a guy like Josh Pace or Demetrius Nichols or something. Guys that 4-year guys that grew from year to year and stepped into bigger and bigger roles. And yeah, he's the most, out there guy since Devo, probably. That was fun too. So I feel good for Q, and I got a feeling that Syracuse may feel the wrath of it tomorrow night. Though, Sean, to your point, like William Kyle, like Syracuse actually does have a guy in William Kyle who may actually be very well suited to slowing down a lot of the things that Q does well. So there we go. Yeah, Michael, you can turn your name green by clicking on the $. Maybe orange if I ever figure out how to do that, or different colors. But you can become a member of the channel. Good crowd here on a Monday. We'll get you no wrong answers for the game tomorrow night coming up. If you'd like to join the show with a call, link is always pinned top of the chat. We are expecting Red Autry live on the ACC Zoom coming up at 11:50. Right now, SMU head coach Andy Enfield is on the Zoom, and I always forget he's the SMU head coach. So there he is, Andy Enfield. You can't see him, but he's there. I promise you. I promise you that he is there. So we'll get to that coming up. We'll get to that coming up. Do I have an orange color? I don't know, Michael Antonio. It's more like, does YouTube have the orange color? I gotta look into it. I've half looked into it, but I've not fully looked into it. It's one of those things where it seems like I should have the option. But I've not found the option yet. But it seems like it should. Like I feel like that option should be there. I just need to actually find it, because I think you'd all enjoy being orange. Though the green is on the nose, and we like that too. Yeah, will Red be on time? I don't know. I also don't know what their travel schedule is today. Getting down to Raleigh, which potentially could throw things into whatever. Lax, yeah, there's a Lax game coming up on Sunday. Go figure. Hague's Family Real Estate Whitby in such places like Washington and Iowa. Yeah. Who's Lax starting the season with? I've already forgotten. Who are you playing, Lacrosse? What do you got? You're playing somebody. So you're playing one of the very, very few teams on your schedule that's not like in the top 10. Who does Lacrosse have Sunday to start the season? And I don't like, as much as I love Lacrosse, I do not like that we're talking about Lacrosse and having a blizzard at the same time. Oh, Boston on BU on Sunday. Oh, yeah, they're only ranked 17th, so Syracuse slumming it to start the season. BU Sunday in the Dome, St. Joe's the next Saturday in the Dome, and then Maryland the week after that. And then Gary just doesn't care, right? Then he's got 2 outdoor February games at Harvard and at Princeton after that. Just nuts. So cold. So cold. Red said this morning they're flying out this afternoon. All right, so that's normal standard schedule for the basketball team. Okay, so yeah, normally the men's team leaves 4-ish in the afternoon. And realistically, that's when the weather should be mostly calm. And I know this, if anything. Like we have never, I've had many flights when I was traveling in the women's team altered by weather. Like there was, can the plane get there? Can this, can that? Not once, maybe once. But in 18 years or whatever, every weather issue, no matter what was happening in Syracuse, like the reason we didn't fly was basically never the weather in Syracuse. Oh man, it was never the weather in Syracuse. It was like it could have been snowing sideways and crazy stuff. Syracuse, like the air traffic control people and the ground crew and whatever, they're like, no, we'll get you off the ground. Like, and it was never the weather in Syracuse why we couldn't fly back home. It could be snowing sideways. It could be winds up to 8 million miles an hour. They're like, no, we'll get you on the ground. Like, we could be flying into absolutely just a nut scenario, and I'm not worried about it. Like, yeah, it's Syracuse. They've got one of the longest runways in the Northeast. They got every equipment you could need. It's like they're going to put you on the ground. They're going to put you on the ground. Like, I never felt bad about it, not once. Now, sometimes the bus ride back to like Manly got a little wonky, but never felt bad about them setting us down in the queues. Yeah, Red. The team is getting close to putting it together. Sure, Kev. Sure they are. Why not? Like, let's go with that. They're close. They're close to being close to the end of the season, right? Something like that. I don't know. Link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. Shout out to all our fine sponsors here on this Monday, including our friends at Wild Birds Unlimited. You know, they're open. Snowing. There, go buy a bird feeder or something today. Buy they've got Matt was showing me this the last time he was in there. They got these little both plug-in varieties and battery varieties, like either bird baths that are heated, so the water doesn't freeze. That's the whole point of that, so the birds can then drink water. Or there's these little inserts into other bird baths that are heaters you can put in, a non-heated bird bath that heats the water so it doesn't freeze, so the birds can drink. Because much like humans, birds need to drink. Is bird cam buried? I can give you. Let's see. I don't know. I can give you. We can get a look at the bird cam. I've not wiped it off. My next scheduled bird camming video is not till tomorrow morning. We can. We can go live bird cam look here. We can do that. We have the technology. Here we are. Live backyard bird cam. Still some light flurries in the backyard. A solid pile of snow on the right side of the bird cam. That is toward the east. And yeah, there we are. There we are. That is a very solid pile of snow. That was not nearly so much there yesterday. Sounds a little windy. Can I turn the wind went away? Oh, there's the wind. It's a little windy out there. The solar panel that charges the bird camera is definitely covered up. So there is that. But yeah, it's snowing. It's snowing. The pond that's over there to the left is frozen to the point that we have been on the pond. The pond has been very popular for the neighborhood youth the last few days. Perhaps later this afternoon we can endeavor to get some pond in our lives. But there we are, little Wild Birds Unlimited Backyard Bird Cam. Also, check out simplysweetsisters.myshopify.com. New recipes and stuff are in the works. There's a lot going on. There was a chocolate sourdough bread that's been kicking around the old house the last few days. Yeah, that's some good stuff. There's an event coming up February 7th. February 7th in Marcellus. It's somewhere in Marcellus where Simply Sweet Sisters will be. So just go to Marcellus and start looking around. Start looking around. I don't know. You'll find it. Or I can tell you before then. But right now, we'll hone in on Marcellus. Marcellus isn't that big. There's not that many things there. I mean, it's kind of spread out with the farms and whatnot, but just go to Marcellus and start looking around. Just sometime on February 7th, go to Marcellus and just check out the whole thing. You into the sourdough, Kev? You making the sourdough? You got it all going? We had a little sourdough pizza the other day. Snow day lasagna. There you go. There you go. A little snow day lasagna. That sounds good. Super Cat. I don't really, I never think of lasagna. I should think of lasagna more. I usually am thinking lasagna it's more in like relation to the holidays, right? You need more candles. More candles are, the candle production will be increasing shortly, I do believe, Kev. I'm not sure if any are currently available on the website or not, but there is a lot of stuff to be going. for candles. There's a link to buy the bird cam we just looked at. And look, the Most is on the screen. I'd say go to the Most today, but you can't because they're open Thursday through Sunday. So you can go later this week. And we've got passes and whatnot that I believe are still sitting in my car that we'll begin to distribute to y'all one way or another in the coming days, weeks, and months. So shout out to all of our fine sponsors coming up down the line here. Reminder to self, have some follow-up emails and texts I need to send this afternoon to prospective future sponsors so we can put even more exciting logos at the bottom of the screen and tell you about more exciting products and locations and general whatnot. Link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. We're live in the 315 here on this Monday. Still to come, we'll do a little no wrong answers. Get you ready for Cuse and NC State tomorrow night as the Orange head down to Raleigh to visit the Wolfpack team. Are they on how many have they won? Wolfpack have won 4 of their last 5, including an overtime win at Clemson. And then they followed that up with a bit of a dud, but dug it out at Pittsburgh over the weekend. Regardless. So there we are. Your daughter's rocking the sweatshirt to school. There we go. It's comfy. It's a comfy sweatshirt. It's a comfy sweatshirt. Shall we knock out a little no wrong answers before we set up and see if we're going to hear from Red here on this Monday? Who's talking right now? Yeah, this is Jay Lucas is talking right now. I don't want to hear from Jay Lucas anymore. He was very eloquent and all that stuff on Saturday, and that's enough. That's enough out of you, Jay Lucas. Don't want to hear from you at the moment. Let's do it. Let's do a little no wrong answers and get you ready for the game tomorrow night. Well, look, the proprietor of Simply Sweet Sisters has entered the chat. Oh my! No wrong answers time. Syracuse, NC State.
Hi, Mason again. It's time to find out exactly what's going to happen in the next Syracuse game. This is No Wrong Answers. Here's Brian.
No, it is No Wrong Answers. Mason, this is Mason. We've got him chained to a microphone. He's working hard on a daily basis. No Wrong Answers, Syracuse, NC State, 7 o'clock at what is apparently now called the Lenovo Center. That building has had a lot of names. In Raleigh, North Carolina, as Syracuse hits the road to NC State to take on A, head coach Will Wade, and B, former Syracuse guard Quadir Copeland, trying to end what has become a 3-game losing streak before it gets really, really, really out of hand where this season is going. So what do we got? The Orange coming in off their loss to Miami on Saturday. It's another game where I don't want to say Syracuse should have won the game on Saturday. That's not really the way the game played out. Syracuse certainly could have won the game on Saturday. Syracuse certainly should not be on a 3-game losing streak right now. They should not have lost the BC game. They probably shouldn't have lost the Virginia Tech game the way it played out. And the Miami game was winnable, though Syracuse did not play that way in the final 10 minutes to take it home on Saturday in the Dome. And they certainly did not play that way, attempting to win the game in the last minute. As far as the opponent, NC State, Will Wade, formerly of LSU, formerly of an FBI field office, has moved his way back to the big time here this year. NC State's having a fine season. They're 14-6. They're 5-2 in the league. Like they're fine. What's NC State doing in the net rankings right now? Let's the Google tells me I visit the net rankings often. That's probably going to be less often going forward here this season. They're certainly losing their appeal from a Syracuse perspective at the moment. Let's quickly go through. Duke is 3rd in the net rankings right now. Virginia is 14th. Louisville is 17th. North Carolina is 23rd. The good news for Syracuse is they play all 4 of those teams on the road coming up in the next month and a half. NC State at the moment is the 5th rated team in the league with net. They're 27th in the country. So this is a quad 1 opportunity with a bullet tomorrow night. If that's still a thing that applies to Syracuse, then Clemson at 31, SMU at 33. The Orange still play SMU this year. Miami, who Syracuse just lost to, is 37th in the net. Virginia Tech, who Syracuse just lost to, is 52nd in the net. Cal and Chris Bell comes to the Dome in a few weeks. They're 55th in the net. Wake Forest, Syracuse has a road game there later this season. They're 67th in the net. Stanford will be nowhere this year. The Orange do not play Stanford this year because that makes total sense. They're 72nd in the net, and the Orange have fallen now to 79th in the net after the weekend happening. So that's where they're at. NC State's in a decent position right now. You're top 30 in the net. You're going to be making the NCAA tournament, so we'll see if they can keep it on track. 4 wins in the last 5 games certainly has them remaining on the path toward that. And Quadir Copeland, realistically, has been their best player. Has been their best player here over the totality of the season. Q is their leading scorer at more than 14 points a game. Q, and this will, knock you over with a feather, right? He's their leading three-point shooter by percentage at nearly 48% from the outside. He's basically 1 out of 2 every game, and this, no surprise, he's by far their leader in assists after going to McNeese State last year to play with Will Wade, making the tournament, and then he and Will and crew relocated from there to Raleigh for Will's first year in the ACC and Q's last year, presumably playing college ball. Somebody's got to only play for 4 years, right? I don't know. Maybe Q can go play globally and then get back in the mix. Speaking of a guy Q used to play with, one Judah Mintz, he's now playing overseas. Guess who got back in the mix in my YouTube comments the other day? Carl Mintz. A little shout out. Had a little convo with Carl in the YouTube comments. Random. Carl hanging out in the cut. Shout out to you, Carl Mintz. Q. Quadir and Judah at one point arrived at Syracuse at the same time. That feels like 9,000 years ago, does it not? Holy moly. That was Boeheim's last year. That feels like it was like 6 lifetimes ago that all happened. So no wrong answers. Syracuse and NC State. Let's dig into it. Where should we start? Let's start where we start. We'll start with Donnie Freeman. If the Orange are going to win a game like this, they need to have Donnie Freeman be the best player on the court. Donnie Freeman has not done that here in the last few games. Why? Like, the scout is out, people are being physical on him, and people know that when he's doing it, he'll force it if nobody else is trying to help him. I think we have, kind of another middle-of-the-pack game for Donnie on Tuesday. Let's go 16 points and 7 rebounds for Freeman. That's kind of where it's settled here the last few games. Road game in the league. You need veterans to make plays. J.J. Starling. He's been all over the lot here recently. I think getting away from the Dome will actually help JJ out a bit. Let's get 14 points, being able to get to the rim against NC State a little bit. Starling's actually the only guy left on the team that played with Q, so that's kind of funny. I wonder if they'll go head-to-head at points. I imagine they will more than 0 times in the ball game. How about Nate George? What is Nate George? I have no idea what we're to get from Nate George. I kind of feel Nate George getting away from the Dome will also help him. We're going to go 14 points, 7 assists, 5 turnovers in the ball game for Nate George. Kiyan Anthony got back on track a little bit last game. In fact, he was our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. He had 13 points. He had the massive dunk. Is that the start of something for Kiyan? Will Wade defense always stout? The answer says no. We'll give 8 points for Kiyan, but an inefficient shooting performance for Anthony. What do we got? Nate Kings has been playing pretty well of late. I think he keeps it going. 12 points for Kings, a solid effort. We get to the front line. Is Tyler Betsy going to get some shots? After the game on Saturday, Miami's head coach Jay Lucas, when he was talking about things he was worried about in the game and this and that and whatever, the first thing he mentioned was the three-point shooting, which then led to the second thing he mentioned was Tyler Betsy. That is another team's head coach essentially telling you that Tyler Betsy needs to get more shots. He won't. 6 points in the game for Tyler Betsy. No wrong answers against NC State. Frontline, Sadiq White, another up-and-down game. Foul trouble, 6.5 rebounds for Sadiq in the ball game. Then William Kyle up front. He'll be needed. We mentioned it earlier. Quadir Copeland likes to get to the rack. Who's waiting for him there? William Kyle. I think Kyle, who's not blocked a lot of shots recently, will get a couple in this game. But because of the way NC State attacks, I think he's also going to get into foul trouble in this game. 8.6 rebounds, 3 blocks for Kyle against NC State. And then no wrong answers, Quadir Copeland. He's appeared in no wrong answers before, back in the day. Q, will he be under control enough to really bring the full fire, flame, and fury against Syracuse? I think yes. Quadir's final line, 18 points, makes 2 3-pointers in the ball game, 11 assists for Copeland and 7 rebounds. I think, unfortunately for Syracuse, Quadir Copeland is going to be the best player on the court in Raleigh on Tuesday night. No wrong answers. Final score, NC State 82, Syracuse 71. Loss number 4 in a row for the Arch. There we go. Little no wrong answers for Syracuse and NC State. Don't forget, after the game, you're already in the right place. This is YouTube. If you haven't hit subscribe, hit the freaking subscribe button. If you haven't turned your notifications on, turn your notifications on. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, click that $sign next to the chat box. That's always appreciated. Then, just do what it says there. To do that. But we'll be right back here after the game Tuesday night, 9-ish. I don't know. These games have all been taken forever. 9:30-ish, whenever the game ends. Final horn sounds, we start the stream. That's how we roll. After Syracuse and NC State, we'll hang out for an hour plus, give or take, after the game coming up. There we are. No wrong answers. Syracuse and NC State. All right. I think we should be getting close-ish to Red joining the Zoom here. I think I currently see a spectacle-clad Mike Young talking from his Virginia Tech office. So in theory, Red will be next. So we'll see about we'll see about all that. So hopefully Red will be joining us here in a second to talk about all that stuff. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see if we get any Red coming up at this point. Yeah, so once again, I've predicted Syracuse to lose. This is now the 3rd straight game I've predicted Syracuse to lose, and there we are. No, I've not done that. Are they legal in New York? Weez, I guess they are. I've not dabbled in those things. Weez, I mean, I see like the commercials and that stuff all the time. But no, I've not. Have you dabbled? I've not dabbled in that. All the commercials are like, you can bet on anything. I can bet on like how many more inches of snow we're gonna have today, or something wacky like that, right? I don't know. But no, I've not dabbled. I have not dabbled. You're turning into an unbiased observer of the train wreck, and you find no joy in that? You got it. It's legal in all 50 ways. Oh, well. Yeah, no, I haven't done it. I haven't done that yet. I don't know. Like the commercials are, my goodness, there's commercials for that. Like everywhere you go, on every form of social media and all this stuff, there's commercials everywhere. Yeah, for it to not be called betting is like, what is it? Of course it's betting. Yeah, but no, I've not done it other than seeing all the various commercials and whatnot. I find it peculiar. I'm like, well, if you're gonna do that, like, why, like, just bet on the game? What? I don't get it. How many birds will visit the bird feeder? Oh yeah, I could run my own predictions market. I've set the over/under for today at 0. I've set the over/under at 0. Why? It's snowing. But if we hit the over, I think it will. I think we'll get something interesting. I don't know. I don't know when the Cardinals and stuff come back. We haven't seen the Cardinal in a while, or the Blue Jay. We're probably still a few months out from the Cardinal and the Blue Jay coming around. But we still have a good bird crowd. All right, waiting for Mike Young to finish up, and we'll see if Red is on time or not, or whatever's going on today on the old ACC Zoom call. They're still talking to Mike Young. And yes, if you'd like to order something from Simply Sweet Sisters, there is the code. There is the link. It's on the screen everywhere you look. Just click and do stuff. You can buy things. You can dye things. When are we having a lacrosse show? I figured, well, we should probably talk a little lax on Thursday with the season opening on Sunday. I still got to figure out what I'm doing for lacrosse. Hague's Family Real Estate Whippy. Maybe we'll do a post-game show Sunday. I don't know. We gotta figure that out. Yeah, I don't know where my Northern Cardinals have gone, because we were very consistent in the Northern Cardinal game, Kev, but I haven't seen Northern Cardinals around here at my feeder anyway, probably for a month or so. So I don't know. Maybe my Cardinals went and visited you, Kev. I don't know where my Cardinals went. They went out. Do they still do suet cakes for bird feeders? I don't know. I've got the spicy bird seed, Spanish and Louise. My bird seed is spicy to keep the squirrels away. Yeah. I don't know. It's spicy. I haven't tried it. I'm told it would be spicy. Every now and again, a squirrel will hop up there, and then he's like, "That's spicy." And then he gets out of there because it's too spicy for him. All right, is Red... I don't know. Mike Young's still talking. We're gonna get Red. The DeWitt Bagel Shop. DeWitt Bagel Shop is outstanding. Not a sponsor, but we take them. They make a good bagel sandwich. Do they not? Maybe we should reach out to them. They make a nice bagel sandwich. And a good bagel, too. Yeah. Mike Young is still talking. I don't think the schedule's... They never sent out an email this week, the ACC, about the schedule. Usually they send it out every Sunday. I searched every part of my email to see if it was in the junk or deleted or something. Thankfully, it's the same link every week, so I was able to join the Zoom. So if they've changed the schedule on Red, I don't know anything about it. But yeah, we're just waiting to see if Red is going to appear on the Zoom, because Mike Young is he is a chatting away. I think he's done. Is he done? No, he's not done. He's still there. He is still there. DeWitt Bagelry? Oh, I'm thinking of is that a different place than what I'm thinking of? There's a bagel place in DeWitt that's delicious. Did they close? That would be sad. The one in the plaza with Mario and Salvos? Or are we talking about something different? Or is there actually a place that was called DeWitt Bagelry? This is called, what is the name of this place? I always forget the name of it. I just know where it is. DeWitt Bagels. DeWitt Bagel Company. Yeah. DeWitt Bagel Company. They're tasty. All right, are we going to get Red here or not? Like, why is Mike Young? Usually they're very on the note. Maybe is Red like, what's happening here? What is happening here? We're just waiting here. There's Mike Young. You want to look at Mike Young? Look, there he is. Look at him. There's Mike Young sitting in his office, just doing whatever it is he's doing Mike Young kind of things. Just being here. I'll make it full screen. Yeah, how about that? Enjoy that. There's Mike Young. We're not going to listen to him, though, because Syracuse already lost to them. But we're going to put him on the screen and just wait to see if Red shows up. Then we can listen to we can watch a silent press conference waiting for Red or not Red to show up at the time or the not time. This is very mysterious, because again, if they send an email out, thank you, Kev. If they sent an email out about today's schedule, like, I didn't get it, which is strange because I'm on the email list and I get it every week. And usually Red is at 11:50. Sometimes there are changes based on other teams' travel or whatnot. But again, they didn't send out the schedule, so I don't know. Mike Young, normally they don't run over. So we might just be once again watching the nothingness here as Mike Young talks silently at us. Is today. That would be amazing if Red just resigned on the ACC Zoom. Just like, yeah, nah, I'm out. Let me see. Are Mike and Donna on here? Like, who's hanging out on this Zoom? Are the people that would be on here? I don't see Mike or Donna on here either. Mark Madsen's on there. I don't think we're getting Red right now. I don't think we're getting Red right now. If Mark Madsen's sitting on there, usually Mark Madsen's right before Red. Do they change the order and not tell me? Ridiculous is what this is. How am I supposed to plan my day out if they're making crazy changes to the orders of these things? How are we supposed to plan the day? Yeah. All right. Oh man, now I'm hitting wrong buttons.
Hi,
I blame Red.
Mason again.
I
It's
blame
time to
Red.
find
Be
out
quiet, Mason. That's enough out of you. Oh my goodness.
Hi.
Be quiet, Mason. Mason's taking over. AI Monday. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get Red. I don't think we're gonna get Red. We had to hit some wrong buttons before the end of the show, though, just to, tradition and all that. We'll keep an eye on that, see if Red appears here. But I'm just not getting the sense that Red is going to appear at this point. I don't think so. They must have changed the schedule and then not told me about it. So maybe we don't blame Red on this one. We can. I know it's the thing to do. Oh, so you're saying there was a place called DeWitt Bagelry. All right, Spatch and Louise. That is either before my time or before my memory. When they were both on the plaza at the corner of Genesee and Erie. Back, the plaza that used to have Pickles Kosher Deli? That one? Is that where Dosa Grill is? Am I thinking of the right place? It's got the dry cleaner and all that? All Night Eggplant used to be there? Yeah, that's before my that's before my memory. I don't recall Eggplant being anywhere other than where it is on Bridge right now in the plaza with Pavones. 80s and 90s? All right. Yeah, we're taking it back. Not pre my memory, but pre my living in Syracuse. So that is, Pickles Kosher Deli, a former longtime sponsor. It was the sponsor of everything when I was at school at WAER, and then whenever you had to do a WAER phone drive to take donations, they always got a Pickles Kosher Deli deli platter of sorts, which was always outstanding. But Pickles Kosher Deli's been gone for, at minimum a decade, and it's probably longer. So shout out to Pickles Kosher Deli. Not a sponsor, can't be, doesn't exist. Literally, they cannot sponsor the show due to their current lack of existence and the fact that they have not existed for a minimum a decade, and my guess is longer. I don't remember when Pickles Kosher Deli closed. Yeah, we're not getting Red. We're just 100% not getting Red. Did Red already happen? When, where, how? There wasn't an email with the schedule. I don't know when Red is supposed to have been or be or what. When is, was, were gonna be Red. Now now I see Steve Forbes. Steve Forbes is on the screen. Good for you, Steve Forbes. Wake Forest, his coach, is on the screen with his. This is actually kind of funny. We can here. Nope, that's the wrong button. Here. Oh, Steve. Oh, he just took it off. Steve Forbes had his glasses on top of his head, but whatever background he has, they were getting eaten by the background, and vanished. That's Steve Forbes. None of those people are Red. All right. Yes, tough sponsorship criteria. Criteria 1 must still exist. End criteria. Criteria 1 must exist. That's our criteria. If you exist, you can be a sponsor of the 315. All you need to do is exist. Well, I have officially determined that Red is not on right now, due to the fact that Red is not on right now, and that Red is neither Steve Forbes nor is he Mike Young. So, with that, I'd say we've talked it out today. Schedules upcoming going forward will be tomorrow. We will be with you after the game. Yeah, shout out to Utica and Rome as well. If you are a business that exists in Utica and or Rome, we cool with you too. Tomorrow, post-game after the game, we'll be here. Wednesday, Jordan and I will be live at 8 o'clock with our TPS report. Thursday, we'll be live in the 315 again at 11 in the a.m. And then Saturday, we'll be live after Syracuse and Notre Dame. That tips off at 6 o'clock, so we'll be with you at 8-ish or so. So, with that, yeah, Red's happening at some point in a schedule that clearly got changed in a way that was not communicated to me. So with that, we will bring it to the end of our time together today. Enjoy your snow day, one and all. We'll talk again after the game tomorrow night.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.